people have asked me, a lot of people have asked, why would you run on the Constitution Party ballot when you've got so much invested in the Republican Party? Why not? In fact, Fred Leary was one who asked me this. Why don't you bravely stay in there and fix the Republican Party? And I just want to give you the math behind it. If the Republican Party were ever going to be fixed, it would have been fixed by now. It's not getting better, it's getting worse. Look at what we're watching just in history. We're seeing all the budgets get bigger. We're seeing less freedom every year, even with the Republicans in charge. And there's no conscience. So I do have the satisfaction of knowing that while I was there for 8 years, I did serve as a conscience for the party. And I was glad to do that. And there were so many caucus discussions when we were trying to decide how should we vote on a bill, and I would raise my hand and say, that's wrong, folks, it's wrong. And sometimes I did change what came to the House floor because of that. But there's not a movement in the right direction if you just open your eyes and look at what's going on with Congress. So I was the chairman of the Republican Central Committee until July in St. Charles County. I was the committee woman for 6 years. I was the vice president of the Republican Federation of Republican Women. I was a member of 2 pachyderm clubs. And if anybody could have reformed the party from within, I could have done it. I was there and I was ready, willing, and able. But I've come to the conclusion they're incapable of electing conservatives, and now we have this, and the proof of it, and I didn't want to believe it, but the statistics are there. If you look just at what's going on in the elections, the good people are getting creamed in the August primaries, and the people with the most money and power go on to the November ballot. And so we don't have an honest choice. We're getting up to November, and you get a choice between once the son of perdition or twice the son of perdition. How satisfying is that? And they're busy, and Roy Blunt came to our caucus before he announced he was going to run for U.S. Senate. And he wanted all the Missouri legislators to support him, so he came. And he said, I want you to vote for me. I want you to get on my committee. I want you to be there for me. And I'll tell you why. I can raise 20 million. I can get 8 or 9 million from in the state of Missouri and another 10 million from outside the state of Missouri. And if you can find anybody else who can get more money than that, let him have it. Otherwise, I'm running. And I sat there speechless. I'm like, okay, insult my intelligence some more. Why are you the best choice for U.S. Senate? Now, I don't want to hurt your feelings if there's anybody in the room who's a big Roy Blunt fan.
I'll take that. How about everybody raise their hand?
Okay, good. I'm invited back again. But look at what we're doing. We didn't have a choice. By the time we got to November, it was a pre-drawn conclusion. You're going to vote for either him or the Democrat. And so we didn't have an option of somebody who would resonate with our values to a deeper extent. What you're going to have this November, and this is the happy news, you don't have to take this anymore. You don't have to just sit back and say, I get all these lousy choices and none of them really are for me. Now you can say, I want the candidate who best reflects my values, and I can't get on your November ballot unless I run on the Constitution Party ticket, because the big boys already have millions of dollars and more where that came from.